The Sema convention is getting ready to kick off, one of the largest car trade shows.
Where the heck are we? We're in Las Vegas.
Hey everybody, Chris Legendary Customs. We appreciate you joining us for this episode. Each and every one of you are appreciated. Welcome back. On the previous episode, you will see that we got a lot accomplished. Got some panels cut out of some old doors to make the body lines between the cab and the body perfect. We took two original 1957 dashes. I know the purists hate us for this. Cut them up, made one dash, moved all the gauges to the center, kind of following the airplane theme. Like on the P-51s, our P-57 should have all the gauges in the center, just like in an airplane. So that's what we were trying to duplicate. It's all come together.
This is going to be so cool.
Today, we are doing our second live edge bed. The first one turned out pretty decent. It's right over here. We had a car show, Mississippi Mayhem, last week, and this truck, first time ever, was out in the public. And I hate to say it, but more people were coming to look at the bed than were coming to look at the truck as a whole. The bed brought them in because it's so different than what else is out there. And then they started looking at the rest of the truck. But we finished this up literally at 10:45 the morning of the show, and the show started at noon. So we pulled off quite a little amazing feat, and that's the final result. We're going to put LED lights underneath it, and it'll show just as well at night as it does during the day. But during the day with the sun, this bed just comes alive because the same pearls and metallic and the actual dyes that go in the paint went into the epoxy resin, which you're going to see later today. So this color on the truck and in the bed is extremely close to each other. So it complements each other. Then this particular wood is cherry, and the cherry over time is going to get darker and darker with the sun. So this is actually going to get even richer than it is because it's literally, 5 days old? So it'll just get more and more character as the time goes on. But anyway, this is number one. We're going to do number two for the Sema truck. Okay, we have started our second live edge bed. And as you're going to see, we use a clear epoxy. One extremely important thing to know if you're going to attempt this yourself is that epoxy has to be an epoxy grade that can be withstood by the ultraviolet lights from sunlight. Most epoxies are not made to be outside. So if you use just a regular furniture grade epoxy or an interior grade epoxy, it will turn an extreme yellow. So what we use is a marine grade epoxy that is made to be outside and in the highly wet elements. Now, what we have done is we've taken the blue pearls that are in the paint on the P-57 and we have mixed them into the epoxy. We've also taken the blue candy that is in the paint and we have mixed that into the clear epoxy, which gives you what you can see, a great look. It's really close to the blue paint that's underneath the wrap and just mix it thoroughly together and then start your pour. Remember, everything has to be level. Everything has to be exactly where you want it, because this epoxy in essence is going to glue everything together. All right? Enjoy this part. And remember, if you ever want to make a live edge bed, just go for it. But preparation is key. This is going to turn out awesome. Now, you might be watching this episode wondering, why in the world are they building the P-57 on an original old 57 frame? Well, the answer is complicated and simple at the same time. As you know, we're building this P-57 in an extremely limited amount of time. We had to hire somebody to build this frame. So I call around, talk to guys, and this gentleman in Lewisville, Texas, we'll just call him John, very generic name. After talking with him, he is supposedly shooting this pilot program TV show because he's an up-and-coming guy. And I'm like, you know, he's up and coming. Let's give him a shot. He made all sorts of promises, talked many, many times. So on June 22nd, we finally get together and I send him $8,200. He needs that money to get started. And he needs until August 10th to build this thing. And in his words, that was more time than he's ever taken to build a frame. Shouldn't be a problem. Well, August 10th came and went. Another week, another week, another week, another week came and went. Promise after promise after promise after promise. You can see where I'm going with this. Well, on September 10th, my wife and I jump on an airplane and we fly to Lewisville, Texas without telling him about it. I knock on his shop door. He has some speed shop down there. He answers the door. And right then and there, I find out John is nothing more than a twisted individual. He answers the door, thinking I'm a customer. Hey, can I help you? You sure can. I want to see my frame. Excuse me? I want to see my frame. I'm Chris with Legendary Customs. His first words after finding out who I was, get the f*** away from me. I have absolutely nothing to say to you. And then he pushed me, locked his shop door. What do? I call the cops. Lewisville, Texas finest show up. 3 squads, 6 officers. They get me into his shop because they saw the contract. They see he has my $8,200. I need to at least see that he's started work on this thing. We get inside. John fesses up. There's nothing there. He hasn't even started it yet. Right now I'm really, really emotional because I promised myself that this guy would get this thing done. I put a lot of faith into him because he promised me. So we write a brand new contract. In 2 weeks he's going to have me a frame. Same old shit. Nothing happens. $8,200, promise after promise, and absolutely nothing. So we come back to Wisconsin. I call JW Rod Shop. In 10 days, they build me this beautiful frame. And you're going to see that in the next episode. It is wonderful. They pulled it off in 10 days after hearing about this twisted guy, what he's doing to me. And it was very, very much appreciated. So that's why there's no frame underneath the P-57. But keep watching. It's coming together. It's looking great. It's an amazing truck. We actually, in the end, make it to SEMA 2018. As you can see, the P-57 is really coming together. The panels that we fixed, the cab and the box too, really are clean. We have cleaned up all of the gaps on the doors. They are looking perfect. Taking and smoothing out the interior. The interior, you can't ignore it. There's a lot of paint work on the interior of these old pickup trucks. They're not covered. Now, when gapping the doors, you can see Zach is literally measuring as he goes down the panels and writing down the different space between the fender and the doors. These are brand new fenders and brand new doors, but from the same company. But as you can see, they don't fit perfectly. So there's two things that we have to do. We either have to add metal to the doors or to the fenders, or we have to take it away. But what we want to end up with is a gap of about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. Maybe a little bit smaller, maybe a little bit bigger, but that's our goal, is about 1/8 of an inch. Okay, what I'm doing here is fitting the bullets to the fenders. Remember, these things were old farm trucks. They were never fit and finished like we are with the show trucks. So what I had to do is grind away the bullets because they do not make those any longer. So I had to use the old ones. I had to grind them to fit the bumper perfectly. Then they were sent off to chrome.
Hey everybody, just want to touch base with the SEMA build. Coming along great. We are 7 weeks and counting. And they call it the SEMA Crunch. It started 3 months ago. Guys are doing a phenomenal job, keeping on track. I want to show you the truck. This is a one-of-a-kind, never done before crossover vehicle. When I say crossover, I don't mean that it has a E85 fuel or something crazy like that, electrical. Nothing like that. It's a mix between a 55 on the front Chevy, 55 GMC, 58 bed, and then it's actually a 59 cab. So there's a lot of years in here. But I'm just gonna show you. I guess that's the best thing I can do. So when you look at the truck, first thing you'll probably notice is there is absolutely nothing between the cab and the bed. We fitted them together. As far as I know, and I've researched a lot of it, this has not been done before on a 55 Chevy vehicle or through 59. So we grafted them together. Turned out really nice. Kind of reminds me of the lines of the 1959 and 1960 El Camino right here. It's coming together very nicely. Door gaps are really good. Body lines are excellent. But I'm just really excited about this because it is going to SEMA and it's going to be a game changer for us. Now, what do you put in such a truck? Well, you might come over here and see a little bit something different. Maybe a Viper. 550 horsepower at the wheel. That's what this one is rated at, and I think it's going to do the job. We also, on the inside, boxed out the bed so you don't see the inside of the 58 bed like you normally would. Just really smooth, clean lines. Plenty of wheel travel. We almost have 11 inches, just a little bit under. Got rid of the drip rail. It's one thing that we like to do. Keeps it really clean. And then on the 58 here, 59, excuse me, cab, that's normally square. We just rounded it off. Again, it's kind of the lines that this thing has, is just nice shapes, curves. The square there did not seem like it fit very well. And then of course we grafted in the visor, so it's part of the cab. Welded in, it's not a separate piece any longer. Anyway, I just wanted to touch base with everybody. Thank you for tuning in. This is an amazing project that we have going here. We're enjoying it thoroughly, and I don't even know what to say because it's exciting, nerve-wracking, all at the same time. Appreciate the opportunity, AMSOIL, to be with you at SEMA and to represent an American-made vehicle.
Remember, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's very much appreciated. If you like what you see, share the videos. Again, Chris with Legendary Customs, thank you much for joining us. Can't wait for you to tune in to the next episodes.